The European Union is currently grappling with an escalating energy crisis, exacerbated by the cessation of Russian natural gas supplies via Ukraine. On January 1st, 2025, Ukraine terminated its gas transit agreement with Russia, effectively halting the flow of Russian gas through its pipelines to Europe. This decision marked the end of Moscow's decades-long dominance over European energy markets. The immediate consequence of this supply disruption has been a significant surge in energy prices across the continent. Natural gas prices have soared, leading to increased electricity costs and placing substantial financial pressure on consumers and industries alike. This spike in energy costs has been a major driver of inflation, complicating economic conditions for various European governments already contending with sluggish growth and fiscal challenges. Germany, as the EU's largest economy, has been particularly hard hit by this energy crisis. Historically reliant on affordable Russian gas to power its industrial sector, Germany now faces the dual challenge of securing alternative energy sources and managing the economic fallout from rising energy costs. Despite substantial investments in renewable energy infrastructure, the country has encountered setbacks. Recent periods of low wind levels and limited sunlight during winter months have hindered renewable energy production, exacerbating the energy shortfall. The confluence of these factors has intensified Germany's existing economic vulnerabilities, contributing to a downturn that has seen the country teeter on the brink of recession. In this climate of uncertainty, political dynamics are shifting. The far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD party, has gained traction in opinion polls by advocating for policies such as exiting the EU, abandoning the euro, re-establishing relations with Russia, and resuming imports of Russian gas. These positions resonate with segments of the population frustrated by current economic hardships and seeking swift solutions. The potential implications of Germany withdrawing from the EU and the Eurozone are profound. As a cornerstone of the EU's economic framework, Germany's exit could destabilize the Union, undermining the single market and the common currency. Such a move would likely trigger financial turmoil, disrupt trade relationships, and diminish the EU's geopolitical influence. This video delves deeper into the origins of the current energy crisis, examining the sequence of events that led to this juncture. We analyze the feasibility and potential consequences of the AfD's proposals, considering both the immediate and long-term impacts on Germany and the broader European landscape. Through a comprehensive and neutral perspective, we aim to shed light on the complex interplay between energy policy, economic stability, and political shifts in Europe. Germany has long been recognized as Europe's economic powerhouse, boasting a robust industrial base and a strong export-oriented economy. As the largest economy in the European Union, Germany has played a pivotal role in shaping the economic policies and direction of the bloc. Its manufacturing sector, particularly in automobiles, machinery, and chemicals, has been a significant contributor to its GDP, reinforcing its position as a leading global exporter. The country's commitment to European integration has been evident since the post-World War II era, with Germany being a founding member of the EU and a key architect of the European Monetary Union. This integration facilitated the creation of a single market, allowing for the free movement of goods, services, capital, and labor, which in turn benefited Germany's export-driven economy. The introduction of the euro provided a stable currency environment, further enhancing trade within the EU. However, in recent years, Germany's economic landscape has faced significant challenges. The German economic crisis, beginning in 2022, marked a dramatic reversal of its previous labor market miracle period of 2005 to 2019. The country, once considered Europe's economic powerhouse, became the worst performing major economy globally in 2023, with a 0.3% contraction, followed by minimal growth in 2024, leaning on recession. This economic downturn has led to a surge in company insolvencies. In the last quarter of 2024, Germany recorded 4,215 company insolvencies, the highest number since 2009, affecting nearly 38,000 jobs. This represents a 36% increase from the previous year, with the services sector experiencing a 47% rise in insolvencies, and the manufacturing sector a 32% increase. The decline has been particularly evident in Germany's Mittelstand, the small to medium-sized enterprises that form the backbone of its economy. These companies have been significantly impacted by the country's first two-year recession since the early 2000s, facing reduced orders and structural challenges such as high labor costs and bureaucracy. The Greens and FDP's withdrawal led to the FDP exiting the coalition, leaving Scholz at the helm of a minority government following the coalition's dissolution. Chancellor Scholz sought a vote of confidence in the Bundestag on December 16, 2024. The motion failed, with only 207 votes in favour, significantly short of the required 367 for a majority, while 394 members voted against it. This outcome highlighted the government's inability to command parliamentary support, necessitating early federal elections. Consequently, President Frank-Walter Steinmeier dissolved the Bundestag and scheduled snap elections for February 23, 2025. This decision aims to restore governmental stability amid pressing national issues, including economic revitalization and immigration policy. Musk's support of AfD Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur and owner of the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, has recently expressed support for Germany's far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD party. In December 2024, Musk declared on X, "Only the AfD can save Germany," signaling his endorsement of the party's platform. This endorsement has sparked significant debate within Germany and beyond. Some political analysts suggest his backing could lend the AfD a veneer of legitimacy, potentially attracting voters who were previously hesitant to support a far-right party. The AfD has capitalized on this endorsement, with party leaders engaging directly with Musk. Notably, Musk hosted a live-stream chat with AfD leader Alice Weidel on X, further amplifying the party's message ahead of Germany's upcoming national election. However, Musk's involvement has also drawn criticism. German government officials have accused him of attempting to interfere in the nation's electoral process. Deputy Chancellor Robert Habeck described Musk's actions as a frontal attack on our democracy, underscoring concerns about foreign influence in domestic politics. The potential impact of Musk's support on the AfD's electoral success remains uncertain. While his endorsement may sway some voters, reputable German pollsters indicate it might not significantly alter the party's prospects in the February 2025 election. Policy changes. The Alternative for Germany, AfD, a far-right political party, has recently unveiled a series of policy proposals that mark a significant departure from Germany's established post-war trajectory. Among these proposals is a call for Germany to exit the European Union, EU, and abandon the euro in favour of reinstating a national currency. The AfD's draft party platform explicitly states, we consider it necessary for Germany to leave the European Union and establish a new European community, advocating for the reintroduction of a national currency and an end to permanent bailouts. The AfD's economic platform, known as the Blue Deal, proposes significant tax reductions aimed at stimulating growth. Key elements include lowering the corporate tax rate from 15% to 10%, abolishing trade tax, and reducing the value-added tax from 19% to 15%. These measures are intended to reduce the tax burden by over 279 billion, equivalent to 8.6% of Germany's GDP, and potentially increase GDP by 6% by 2025. However, critics argue that such substantial tax cuts could lead to significant budget deficits and question the feasibility of maintaining public services and infrastructure under reduced revenue. Additionally, the AfD's stance against immigration, including calls for mass deportations under a remigration policy, has raised concerns about potential labor shortages, particularly in sectors reliant on immigrant workers. Germany and Russia, in addition to advocating for a departure from the EU and the Euro, the AfD proposes re-engaging in trade relations with Russia, particularly through the repair and recommissioning of the Nord Stream pipelines, which previously supplied natural gas to Germany. This move would signify a reversal of current economic sanctions imposed on Russia. The party also seeks to halt the expansion of wind energy infrastructure, reflecting its broader skepticism towards renewable energy initiatives. The AfD's Saxony election program proposes stringent measures to curb wind energy development, including a rule requiring wind turbines to be placed at significant distances from residential areas, effectively limiting their expansion. These policy shifts represent a stark contrast to the foundational principles that have guided Germany's political and economic integration within Europe for decades. Germany's role as the EU's largest economy has been instrumental in shaping the Union's policies and stability. A German exit from the EU, often referred to as Dexit, could have profound implications. Economists warn such a move could lead to a loss of economic output of around 10%, equating to a loss of prosperity of $400 to $500 billion per year for Germany. The potential repercussions for the EU are equally severe. Unemployment rates exceeding 10% during this period of economic stagnation earned the region the label of the sick man of Europe. The situation stemmed from structural inefficiencies in the labor market, rigid regulations, and limited global competitiveness in key industries. Under Chancellor Gerhard Schröder, the government implemented the Agenda 2010 reforms, a series of measures aimed at liberalizing the labor market, reducing welfare benefits, and incentivizing employment. These reforms included the controversial Hartz labor market reforms, which restructured unemployment benefits and promoted part-time and low-wage work. While these measures temporarily spurred growth, they also resulted in long-term issues such as income inequality and precarious employment, setting the stage for future economic instability. Germany's resilience during the 2008 global financial crisis underscored the strength of its export-driven economy. Although the nation experienced a sharp contraction in GDP during the crisis, it quickly rebounded due to demand for high-quality German goods, particularly in the automotive and machinery sectors. By 2011, Germany's exports exceeded 1 trillion, highlighting the country's dependence on foreign markets. However, this reliance on exports made Germany vulnerable to global market volatility. Economic slowdowns in major markets such as China, the United States, and emerging economies had immediate repercussions on German industries. Moreover, the focus on exports came at the expense of domestic demand, creating an imbalance that reduced the economy's resilience to internal shocks. This dependence also constrained Germany's ability to diversify its economic base, leaving it exposed to external disruptions. Recent economic challenges, 2022, present. Germany's economy began to noticeably weaken in 2022 due to a combination of factors. The energy crisis, triggered by the cessation of Russian natural gas imports following the invasion of Ukraine, severely disrupted the country's energy supply. Relying on Russian gas for about 55% of its energy needs, Germany faced surging costs and production slowdowns. This shock was compounded by supply chain disruptions across industries, particularly in automotive manufacturing and chemicals. Aging population further exacerbated these challenges, with the shrinking workforce leading to rising social welfare costs and labor shortages, especially in industries reliant on skilled and semi-skilled workers. Inadequate immigration policies to replenish the workforce further slowed productivity growth. Chronic underinvestment in infrastructure and research hindered innovation, while Germany's lag in digitalization and green technologies compared to global competitors highlighted industrial stagnation. Economic performance indicators. Germany's GDP contracted by 0.3% in 2023, with projections suggesting another 0.2% decline in 2024. These consecutive years of economic shrinkage reflect structural inefficiencies and external pressures. Industrial production, a cornerstone of Germany's economy, has steadily declined. The automotive industry, a flagship sector, has struggled to adapt to the global transition to electric vehicles and automation. Companies like Volkswagen have announced significant job cuts and plant closures as they face fierce international competition and a slow shift to new technologies. Implications for the European Union. Germany's economic struggles reverberate beyond its borders due to its role as the largest economy and de facto leader of the European Union. A weakened German economy destabilizes the EU's financial ecosystem, as Germany has traditionally been the largest contributor to the EU budget. Countries relying on German trade and investment face cascading challenges, slowing the EU's overall economic momentum. Policy debates within the EU have intensified, with calls for Germany to adopt more flexible fiscal policies to stimulate growth, rather than adhering rigidly to its debt rules. Critics argue that Germany's insistence on fiscal discipline during crises has limited the EU's ability to respond dynamically to economic downturns. Conclusion: the European Union faces a deepening energy crisis, highlighted by Ukraine's termination of its gas transit agreement with Russia on January 1, 2025. As the EU's economic linchpin, Germany has borne the brunt of the crisis. Decades of reliance on inexpensive Russian gas to fuel its industrial economy have left the country vulnerable to sudden supply disruptions. Efforts to pivot toward renewable energy sources have proven insufficient in the short term, with low wind speeds and diminished sunlight during winter months compounding the energy shortfall and intensifying economic vulnerabilities. The economic strain has sparked political shifts, with the far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD, party gaining traction in polls.